Good evening, everyone. It's Friday the 13th, February 13th, 2026. Are y'all feeling lucky or unlucky or superstitious? Anyway, this is part 2 of my part 1 video, Donald Trump, guilty or innocent. I guess you can decide that. But where I was trying to go with the first video before it just stopped, and of course this is a low budget deal. We don't edit anything, we don't do anything, we just throw it out there and you like it or not. And if you like it, subscribe and comment, like the channel, and help me build it up. And if you don't, I guess you don't have to. So, but anyway, we're kind of low budget over here. We don't do a lot of editing, we just kind of throw it out there, what we got to say, and we move along with it. So that's kind of how I roll. So anyway, where I was trying to go with this deal is, you can't judge a book by its cover. You have to read what's inside to figure it out. And, you know, I've always been told you're only as good as the company you keep. Birds of a feather flock together. So you got a guy running around with a convicted PDF file, basically, is what you got. And he's been best friends with him forever. So, I mean, I think that says a lot. You know, and he has to know what this guy's done. He has to know what he's been up to. He's been to his house. He's been on his plane. He knows how he met his wife. And then you got a 50-something-year-old guy that starts a little preteen pageant. If I started where I live, a little preteen pageant, and I'm 50-something years old, there's nobody would participate in that pageant. People would think I was a freak, dude. They wouldn't send their daughters down there. They go, wait a minute. If it was a woman doing it, they might, you know. And I think that's why they had Ghislaine. But no one said anything about Trump. I'm sure there was a little talk, but he starts this little pageant. And then he's bragged about being able to walk in there when the girls are naked, make his way around because he owns the pageant. He's been on Howard Stern and talked about liking them young and doing this and doing that. I mean, he's bragging on an open mic on a forum where you know people are going to be listening to it. And if he's willing to admit that in that atmosphere, what's he willing to do? It's like he feels invincible. He feels like he can get by with anything. And everything, like in video 1 that he has been accused of, like the essay of a 13-year-old girl, she came forward, said that Epstein and Donald Trump had done that to her, and then told her that her family and her would be, basically threatened her and her family and said, you know, bad things would happen to you if she ever came forward, but she still had the courage to come forward. And there's been people that's had the courage to come forward, and they filled out testimony with the FBI and they've never done anything. You've got to feel pretty invincible. A guy that trafficked thousands of young girls, and he gets convicted of 32 of them, does 18 months in jail, and it's free to go. And then you got all these people, and it's, you know, it's like I said, you know, they redacted the predators' names. They're batting 1,000 on redacting the predators' names. But when we made a mistake and accidentally, you know, we're just humans and we were trying to go through it pretty quick and we only had so much time, and so, you know, we're going to make mistakes, and we accidentally release some of the victims' names so they could be victimized again. Sorry. But it's funny that you were batting 1,000 on hiding the PDF files in the deal, the predators. You're batting 1,000 on redacting their names, you know, and it's like, I guess she's in a funny position because she has to deal with this, and she may, like, deep down in her soul really want to just bring these people to justice, but she fears in some way, or because of her position, because of money, or maybe she's just a PD file protector, you know. Hey, you know, maybe that's just what she is. I don't know. But like, her testimony was a total joke. You know, she's trying to twist it around and like point fingers at other people, and it's like, hey lady, we're not the ones on trial here, and our name ain't in the files. You know, you weren't scratching out our names to protect us because we're not in there, but Donald Trump's listed 38,000 times. Okay, so you got a guy that's been accused of all these things all of his life. He's showed no evidence of having any moral conduct whatsoever. Okay, so if you're a juror, 12 panel of 12 jurors, and I'm one of the jurors, and he don't have anything he can really argue. There's nothing this man can argue. He can't argue anything. Like, literally. He can't say, oh, I'm not that way, this, that, and other. Everything points to the fact that he is that way. You know, you've been accused of this multiple times. You've committed frauds. You've done, like, your whole life is nothing but just criminal activity. And now you want us to believe that, you know, and the kind of criminal activity, too. If Bob was accused of burning down the church, and Bob was a good guy of moral conduct, never broke the law, never did anything in his life, was always helpful, good, friendly natured, everybody liked Bob, well, they could go in there and go, man, Bob did probably do that, dude. You know, Bob's a good old boy. Bob's okay. You know, it's all good. But, and I just arrived home, so I'm going to try to wrap this up real quick. Been a long day. But now, if Bob had been caught at the Walmart when the Walmart caught fire and they had him on camera back there and had a lighter in his hand and back there in a certain section where the fire was started, nobody else was around, but they didn't convict him, and he said he didn't do it. I didn't do it, you know. I'm not, you know, not going to admit to anything. It wasn't me, you know. And then Bob paid for some farmer's barn that was burned to the ground because he was in the area at the time and he was seen leaving the scene. They didn't convict him, and they worked out a deal where he just paid for the barn and he didn't admit any wrongdoing. And now they come up and they go, well, we think Bob might have been involved in burning the church down. We'd have to go, well, now, by God, Bob's been around some other fires, and Bob's been accused of burning shit down before, and, you know, if you play with fire, you're going to get burned, and you know, he's had a little soot and a little smoke on his clothes before when he was being accused, but he never got convicted of it, and he said he was innocent. But now in this deal, you know, should we believe he did or not? And I'm leaning towards, we'd go, man, it's not beyond this reasonable doubt that Bob probably may have done this shit. He was seen in the area, you know, he was seen in that area 38,000 times. Over there, he was seen by 38,000 different people in the area at the time that the church burned down. I mean, think about it. He was best friends with the guy that wanted the church burned down, or that burned down other churches, you know. So, I mean, if you see where I'm going with this, I mean, it's not beyond reasonable doubt that he was involved in this shit, you know. It's not beyond reasonable doubt that he's a fucking predator. It's not beyond reasonable doubt that the guy has no fucking heart, no soul. He's an immoral character. I think it's funny that he was joking about, well, I'm thinking about getting heaven. I don't know if I'm not doing very good, and I don't know if I'm going to get in. No, dude, your golden elevator goes all the way down where it's fucking hot, and they turn the flames up 50,000 fucking degrees, bro. That's where you're going. I mean, come on, man. Like, how can anybody say that? It is still, I say this almost every other video, like, these fucking far-right MAGA fucking people that suck his fucking nuts from the back while they give him a reach around, dude, and just give him a pass on every fucking thing he does. It's like, motherfucker, they sell glasses really cheap for you two-teeth trailer park trash Neanderthal motherfuckers down there at the Walmart. At the fucking Walmart Vision Center, you can get 2 pairs of glasses for fucking 99 bucks. And you'll be able to see. And you'll be able to open your eyes to what the fuck is going on, dude. Look at every fucking thing this dude does. And it's some kind of satanic, heartless, soulless, PDF, misogynistic, racist bullshit, dude. Like, and it's not that fucking hard to see. Let's kill motherfuckers in the ocean and call them drug dealers. Let's send our thugs to gun citizens down in the fucking street, and then we'll say they were a fucking domestic terrorist. Let's have a little kitty pageant and sell some young girls to Jeffrey Epstein. You know? Is it too far of a stretch of the imagination to think he would do something like that? I've watched him do every other fucking immoral thing, and he's been accused of the shit before, over and over and over again. His name is in the files 38,000 times. What is there to fucking debate, bro? I have a video and it's called, is it the Epstein files or the fucking Donald Trump files? Because, I mean, that's where we're at this point. I mean, Why are we even talking about Jeffrey Epstein anymore? He's dead. This is the Donald Trump files, bro. He was mentioned in there more times than Jesus is mentioned in the Bible. I've heard other podcasters say. I mean, come on. And it's not a fucking stretch of the imagination to believe that he was involved in this shit. Now, is there a statute of limitations and he'll get by with it again and then he'll say, well, I never did it, and still continue to deny it? Probably so. Does he got money and power and is he rich and he'll probably get by with it? Probably fucking so. If we got accused in it, any regular fucking person got accused of it, they'd be under the fucking jail. We believe what the woman says. You got to believe the women. And that, that's been the gold standard forever. I mean, and I've said this before, Bill Cosby got convicted not on DNA evidence, not on any fucking tangible, hey, we got pictures, we got your name was in the files, nothing like that. Just testimony of a woman going, give me a load and had his way with me. That's it. And he went to jail. They raked Michael Jackson over the coals about the little boy and all this. And then, there's pictures of Michael Jackson in there. Maybe somebody, when they accuse somebody, we ought to listen to them. Maybe there's something going on there. I'm not saying he did it. I would think Michael Jackson less did it than I would Donald Trump. It's not, like I say, that's what I'm trying to say. It's not a stretch of the imagination to think that Donald Trump was involved in this shit because of who he hangs out with, the way he's lived his life, the accusations in the past, and he formed his own alliance of young girls and shit in his own little pageant and shit. And he talks to women like they're second-class citizens, like he controls them, they're under his feet, And so he doesn't hold them in high esteem and want to respect them by any stretch of the imagination. So, when are people going to wake up? I mean, there's not a whole lot to debate here, really, And I mean, do you throw people in jail without evidence? No. But they've got the evidence. All they have to do is take all them little black deals off there. All the little black redactions, take them off there, and they've got their perpetrators. Why was this shit never fucking investigated? If my daughter or some girl here at the apartment complex where we're at, I'm at home, then I'm at my apartment complex, the reserves. Here we are. If a little girl come and said, hey, this man did this to me, the cops would have that dude in there grilling the fuck out of him. She'd give a statement. They'd be looking for evidence. They'd raid his house. They'd drag that motherfucker through the coals on a fucking testimony. And women came and gave testimony to the FBI. Call 1-800-CALL-FBI and reported this, and they took statements and the accusations and put them down on paper, and they scratched the names off of them. Like I said before, and I've heard Jon Stewart say this same exact thing. I thought, motherfucker, you stole that shit from me. But I probably stole it from him. Who knows? We don't know. Better go check out the files. But the truth about it is, there's a sanctuary city, and we don't live in it. I don't live in it. You don't live in it. Us regular, normal people don't live in it. The Jeffrey Epsteins, the Donald Trumps, the Prince Andrews, the Sultan, those kind of people, the Bill Gates and Elon Musk of the world, they live in that sanctuary city where there's a two-tier justice system. When you have money and you have power, your name gets redacted. No one does an investigation. You get 18 months for 32 counts of lewd things with children. See? And you don't even go to the same jail. You get out of jail every day, and you get to go to work, and you get to still have your people around, and you get to eat what you want. And when you're a high up person that's got evidence against other people, you get moved from the maximum security prison to the lightweight Playboy Boy Scout camp prison, right? There's a sanctuary city that we don't live in, but the rich, elite, powerful people live there. And that's just the way it is. So what do we do? Is there anything we can do? No. But there is. And it's called get whatever you need. Your passports, your voter ID, everything you need, because you're going to need it, because he's going to try to fucking cheat the election. He's already fucking said so. And he don't just think about shit. in the background, he's fucking working to do it with his fucking evil fucking minions that he hired to work under him that are fucking loyalists that suck him off every time they get around him. And, oh, you're the greatest fucking president. And oh, you know, can you spread your fucking cheeks open wider where I can get my fucking tongue up in there and give you a lick from the back, Mr. President. And he's got these fuckers working for him that do everything that he says. And he's got his elite police, and he's got fucking, we're going to send the military, and it's fucking insurrection, you know, blah, blah, blah. And he's going to try to fucking cheat the election. So we've got to get everybody registered to vote, make sure that they show up on fucking election day. On election day, don't mail in a fucking ballot because it won't get counted. You have to fucking show up there and cast a fucking ballot with your fucking ID and everything that they're going to try to say you need and is required. You have to fucking record the conversations to make sure that your vote don't get fucking discounted or they don't send you away if it's being fucking handled by a bunch of fucking MAGA insurrectionist Republican motherfuckers. And get your vote out there and get the vote down and vote and get some fucking people. There has to be a blue wave in November so that come January, all these motherfuckers can finally, we can close that sanctuary city that really does exist. Not the one for the immigrants, but the one for the rich fucking elite motherfuckers. And we can finally shut down that fucking sanctuary city, and we can deport these motherfuckers to jail where they belong. And that's the truth. We're going after the fucking worst of the worst? Yes, we are. After fucking November, we're going after the worst of the worst. And the worst of the worst are these motherfuckers in charge of shit right now. Every fucking one of them. And I'm still not convinced that you don't need to go find the fucking other Epstein Island where he's exiled at, because that's a sketchy fucking deal, bro. I don't know that the guy that had all the evidence against everybody committed suicide. I think he was murdered if he's dead. But I have questions about whether he's fucking dead or not. I think he's exiled on some fucking island, hid out from the fucking Department of Justice because they had him fucking dead to rights and people were scared he was going to talk. But at the same time, they don't know what he had and where it was coming from, and if something happened to him, somebody else wouldn't send it in somewhere and they couldn't control it. And I'm not convinced that some of the files that went to Mar-a-Lago that they were looking and they raided Mar-a-Lago, some of those probably were security clearance files. Some of those probably was national security files and military files and classified files. But I think some of them might have been the fucking Epstein files that was raided when they raided Jeffrey's home and did all that. And old boy had to redact them. And so he redacted them into Marine One when he left because he wasn't planning for that. He had to leave office because he lost the fucking election. He thought he had it in the bag and he lost. So now it's like, oh, fuck, what do I got to do? Well, I'm taking this shit with me when I go. I'm not leaving it behind because those fucking Democrats will crucify me with this fucking evidence. They'll get to looking into it. So, and now there's probably some of them in there too. I mean, I'm not discounting that most politicians, you know, are fucking corrupt, dude. I mean, let's take it there. But anyway, so that's just kind of where I'm at to bring this thing home. You know, like, you look at the moral conduct of a guy, you look at all the accusations in the past, and it's not a stretch of the imagination when the guy's name's been mentioned 38,000 in the PDF files, 38,000 times in the PDF files, with a past like he's got, the kind of person that he really is with no moral conduct and a black soul, that he wasn't involved in it. I almost wonder if he wasn't the guy that was in charge of all of it. Think about it. You got Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine. Jeffrey probably benefited from the young girls, but where did they come from? Did they come from Donald Trump's pageant? Did they come from Slovenia or Russia or something over there where Melania was from? Think about it. And maybe Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell was the people that you throw under the bus, because when you're doing something that can get you in trouble, you always have to have someone that you can point the finger to, throw some evidence out there to make them look guilty, and throw them under the bus to take the focus off of you. And this administration is very fucking good at doing that. They're going to cheat the election. They're going to cheat the election. The whole time they're trying to cheat the election, they're trying to say the other people are. They're weaponizing the justice system. Oh my God, they're going to weaponize the justice system the whole time that you're weaponizing the justice system. You know? Oh, my name's not in that. It was these people, those people, and oh, it's a fucking hoax. It's a hoax. It's a hoax. And I guess if you say that long enough and you say you're not guilty long enough, people start to believe it because you've said it over and over again. You get out there and you rally your troops, rally up your people. And then if nothing else, when it all fails, when you lose and you can't win and you realize you're losing, you've rallied up your troops that'll go try to fucking help you win anyway. We're going to go fucking storm the Capitol, bro. Think about it. So that's where we're at in this deal. I mean, call it a conspiracy theory, call it what you want. I think there's a lot of truth to what I'm saying, dude. That's all I'm saying. So I'm going to wrap this deal up. I'm going to unpack some things, go in and get a good night's sleep because I got to do it again tomorrow. So anyway, I got a long weekend. But it's just something to think about here in part 2 of Donald Trump. You know, guilty or innocent? You decide. You know, let me know what you think in the comments. If you like what I have to say, like and subscribe. Help me build this channel. I think I'm up to 10 subscribers now or something. You know, hey, I'm kind of proud. I got 10 people that like to hear what I say or accidentally subscribe to hell, I don't know. But anyway, it's a good feeling to know that somebody might want to hear what you got to say and give you some comments and all that. So, you know, I always said I was going to try to do this, and I just never did it. It just went on for years and years. I said, well, I'm going to build me a channel one day. I could have probably had one built now if I'd have done it the first day. But I just stay busy and I do things, and it's not really about the money, but it's just about reality and truth and giving somebody else something besides the fucking old normal bullshit that they get when they get smoke blowed up their ass. Because I'm not trying to blow smoke up people's ass. I just talk to get people to thinking about what's going on and look somewhere else than the normal shit that's being thrown in their face, you know, and trying to, you know, what people are trying to convince you of. So anyway, like I say, I appreciate it if you'd like and subscribe. I hope you all have a good evening and God bless, and I'll catch you on the flip side.